A very good day to you. This is, of course, Jamie on the chat trap right here on. Hope you are having yourself an amazing day. We have so much to talk about because there's been a lot going around in the world. So I want to make sure that you are updated with every single thing that is going on, that that you're entertained and motivated at the same time. Again, this is, of course, Relax Radio, and we are spelled without the X and relax because we are all about positivity. So if you want just a little bit of a positive push, if you want a little bit of motivation to get going with your day, all you got to do is make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio. Now, with that being said, I also want to remind you to download our app because it's available absolutely free of charge on iOS and Android. So make sure that you download our app on your phone right now. With that being said, now, today, at least next couple of minutes, I'll be talking to you about something that is quite interesting, and that's this whole concept of multitasking. Now, growing up, I feel like something that my parents, something that my teachers have constantly told me is that multitasking in general is not a good thing, and how your brain can only focus on one thing at one time, and how you shouldn't multitask because you're not going to be as productive. But the reason why I wanted to talk to you about this is because I just came across this whole different perspective of things. And I came across this article that actually spoke of how multitasking essentially helps you to be more productive and helps you to cultivate original thinking. And that's what I wanted to share with you about. And I wanted to share with you rather a few tips on how you as an individual could fuel your capability of original thinking. Now, those are a few things that I'm going to be talking to you about. I'll be with you for quite some time, giving you a lot of different, talking about a lot of different things. And I definitely want you to be a part of the show, okay? I want to hear your perspective. I want to hear what you are interested in, or if it's just how your day is going. I would absolutely love to hear from you. So go on right ahead, call me up, or just let me know what's going on because like I told you, would absolutely love to hear from you. So you could call me up very simply on the number 07852473473, or you could simply connect with me on social media. Go check out our social media, by the way. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We go as Relax Radio. And let me tell you that we are giving you some really good content, okay? We are keeping you updated with everything that's happening, everything that's going on, be it politics, be it entertainment. We are definitely keeping you updated. So make sure that you go on and check out our social media. We go as Relax Radio on every single social media platform. Again, I want to remind you, if you want to say hi to me, I would love to hear from you. So go on right ahead and call me on 078 52473 Now, with that being said, before we move on to the conversation for today, I want you to just take a look at this video. It gives you an idea of what essentially we are doing here at Relax Radio. So go on ahead and take a look at this little snippet. All right, that's a little idea for you of what happens here at Relax Radio. I want to say a big thank you and big love going out to every single one of you that are tuned in as of now. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. It is such a pleasure to have you on board. Now, with that being said, let's get on to the topic of today, which is about multitasking. Is multitasking good for you? Is it does it fuel original thinking, and what's all the controversy about multitasking in the first place? Now, like I told you before, multitasking is generally seen as a stressor, and it is said that multitasking reduces performance, but busy periods of juggling tasks can actually fuel our creativity, and that's what I did want to talk to you about. If you're trying to be a little bit more creative, if you're trying to have good ideas and trying to be more productive at work, then you should most definitely listen to what I have to share with you. Now, with that being said, if you take a look at the past, per se, psychologists, our teachers, our adults have always decidedly had a very dim view of multitasking. Okay, there have been so many studies that showed us that the brain struggles to juggle two activities at once and instead moves quickly between them. And then people say that there's a loss of accuracy each time it shifts its attention. Now, if you're writing an email as you talk on the phone, for example, you temporarily lose the capacity or the ability to process the conversation as you type out the sentence. Think about think about yourself. If you have to do two things at once, especially if you're on a call with somebody and you're trying to do something else, you kind of become a little deaf. You zone out. I guess the word that we use these days is zoning out. And I feel like the reason why we zone out so much more in the present day is said to be because we multitask quite often. Now, see, alternatively, I believe that the shift in focus will essentially lead to this momentary lapse in your writing, resulting in, say, a typo or something that you don't really want to do. So, for optimum accuracy, you should therefore, according to what people say, according to what we've heard up until now, for optimum accuracy, for optimum productivity, we've heard that you should devote your full attention to each activity in turn. Okay, so now the studies all focus on immediate consequences of multitasking, right? What essentially is going happening with our brain right now. However, what I am interested, or what I want to share with you, is what comes after. Okay, creativity often involves tying together disparate thoughts and ideas, and that can benefit from more diffused mindset rather than a very rigid, focused one. Does that make sense to you? That's essentially my point of view, and I did read quite a few articles that said that this was in fact quite true. Okay, for instance, we know that asking people to contemplate contradictory ideas and conflicting perspectives can actually increase the flexibility and the originality of their thinking for precisely this reason. Okay. Okay, so let me give you an example. When people are holding two separate pieces of information in their head, they're somehow able to act and engage in more creative ways. Okay, and it seems to make sense that multitasking could actually have a similar effect. Now, that essentially is not a very popular opinion about multitasking. A lot of people probably are going, "Oh, is that even true?" But what I want you to do is I want you to try it out. See if multitasking actually fuels your creativity. See if you have better ideas. See if you come up with more creative outlooks on your day-to-day activities. So definitely try it out. It's life in general is trial and error. You never know something until you actually do it. And I want you to go ahead and see if this is true. See if multitasking actually fuels rather original thinking and creativity. So go on right ahead and do it and let me know, because I would absolutely love to hear your conclusion about this topic of discussion, about this, controversy, I would say. I would absolutely love to hear from you. So you could simply do that by calling me on 07582 or you could just download our app, and it's super simple. Okay, if you download our app, we go as Relax Radio. It's available absolutely free of charge on iOS and Android. But you do download our app, right on top you can just click a button and directly get in touch with me. So that's super simple for you. It just makes life a lot more easier for you. So make sure that you do go on ahead and download our app. Now, with that being said, I also want to continue talking about multitasking. If you're just tuning in, we've been talking about how multitasking can actually help improve creativity, because as opposed to a rigid mind, when you have a lot of things going on in your mindset, or if you have a very diffused mindset, in the long term, that's going to help you come up with a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different ideas, which essentially fuels creativity. Okay. Now, that's why I believe that multitasking can also lead us to feel energized and alert, and you're always conscious. And this is almost reflected in our psychology, okay, and our physiology. The more tasks that we attempt to do, our heart rate is faster. We are so much more energized. And for example, that energy, as a lot of researchers suspected, could also improve your generation of ideas. So, a lot of people have put this into test. Importantly, the researchers also tested different participants. So that was this research that happened, and a lot of researchers realized that when individuals are doing more than one task at once, it just keeps them and their entire physiology more active than the other person with a rigid mindset. So if you are somebody that tends to multitask, well, then this is definitely some good news for you. Uh, Make sure that you recognize the potential benefits of multitasking, and that will essentially help you to frame your busiest moments a bit more positively. With all of this being said, I've been talking about how multitasking can actually be positive and how it could fuel creativity. But how can we apply this to ourselves? So you should actively pursue multitasking if that's something that you want to do, and if it's unnecessary, since it can increase our stress levels, there is chances of you trying to tackle too many things at once, and that it causes you to be stressed out. So make sure that you draw a line. There's obviously two sides to a story. Yes, multitasking can be helpful. Yes, multitasking can help you to generate a whole bunch of new ideas. But with that being said, I always want you to remember that you are a person at the end of the day, and you deserve a break, and sometimes your mind can get tired as well. So make sure that you give your mind as much of space to breathe as you do to your body. Give your Allow your mind to relax. So do things like meditation, do things, whatever you need to figure it out for yourself. Figure out what helps you quieten your mind, and then go with it. Now, with that being said, I have a lot more interesting things to talk about. Honestly, there's been a lot happening around the world, so I want to make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio.